Hey guys, I just want to show you the specialty transfer pump I'm making. I'm not making the pump. This is a $10 pump. You can get these at Home Depot. I was thinking about something else. Get them at Home Depot for 10 bucks, and it comes with this really flexible, I guess this is a vinyl tubing. I don't think that works well for hot or warm fluids and oils. It's an oil transfer pump, but this is too much. The reason I wanted to get this is because when I did that fill and flush, I didn't overfill the transmission, but I filled it right to the top edge. You know, it says like, okay, from here to here, this is the bottom part of it, and this is the top. Right to the edge I did, and I made sure it wasn't above that, but I want a little room in case the transmission ever gets really hot and that fluid expands too much. I don't want it expanding too much and getting foamy. I don't know how much, leeway they give you there. So, since this tubing, I don't want to stuff down in the transmission oil pan because it could be warm. So I cut a little section here, and I had this fitting here for my RO system. I bought these. These are John Guest fittings. So let me show you the next part. I'm going to turn the camera off for just a minute. Okay, so here's the next part. This is 1/4 by 17 thousandths, or by 0.17 by 100 poly tubing. I got this to work on various other things. So it's a little bit smaller, and it should fit in that dipstick just fine. Unfortunately, I can't hold the camera and show you this part at the same time, so I'll get back with you. Okay, so the 1/4 inch hard poly tubing gets pushed in, and with the John Guest fitting, it pushes in. You twist it and push it as far as you can, and then when you pull it out, this little fitting comes out, and it keeps you from pulling out. Then you put this little clip on there. These are John Guest fakes or knockoffs. I don't think the real John Guest actually have these little clips. But I'm going to cut this poly tubing here to a little bit longer than the length of that dipstick cable. Okay, so here it is all together. Hopefully I didn't cut that too long or too short, but if not, I've got plenty of tubing there. I didn't want it too long because I just want it running down to the bottom of the pan. So anyway, so this is a John Guest knockoff. This is a 1/4 inch poly tubing. This is vinyl tubing that goes into the pump. This is what it came with. Then this is threaded on one end, so I heated up with a hair dryer, and I jammed that on there. Then I put a worm gear hose clamp on there to hold this in place. And I just want to drain a little bit of fluid out of there. I've decided maybe 1/4 quart. But anyway, when you do this, you got to make sure that your poly's clean, because you don't want to put any dirt down in there in your oil pan, especially no plastic fragments. So we'll see how it works, and I'll let you know. Okay, so the whole kit and caboodle fits in this little Ziploc bag. I want to do that so that it doesn't inadvertently pick up dirt, fragments, and things. This is the original poly tubing I was going to use, but that's almost as big as the dipstick tube. So I think it's too big. I want it, you've got to be able to jam it in there and then take a little corner. So I wanted this little tubing on there, and I just want to pull it just a little bit, just give the transmission just enough room so that if it ever overheats, the fluid doesn't expand too much, and then it gets all foamy and then starves the transmission. But we'll see how it works. Okay, so I've let the truck cool for about 50 minutes. Just FYI, I don't know about this vinyl. I'm sure that it'd melt fairly easily. I was heating it up with a blow dryer, but this poly tube I know will get soft around 212, 225. Maybe it'll melt at 250 degrees, but I have used it poly before on one of my campers, and I was using boiling water to get it soft to get on the fitting, so I know this will get soft at least at around 212 degrees. Now I kept this Matic S empty quart of container for the transmission fluid just in case I had to pull some out. And like I said, it's fine, it's not over full, but I want to pull just a little bit out to give it some room. Now, I have this other Ziploc bag so that when I pull that dipstick out, instead of setting it on the thing, I can put it in this bag so it doesn't pick up the debris. And hold on, I'll try to show you this when I get it all set. Okay, if you can see this, there's the setup. I've got the intake here. It goes down in there into the pan. I pushed it until it stopped, and it goes in here. Let's see if it works. One pump actually was enough to get that in there. Okay, so I pulled out about 1/4 quart and transmission fluid, which is about what I wanted to pull out. See, it's almost to the 200 milliliter mark out of 800, so 200 times 4 is 800. So I just want to pull out a quarter quart. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this transmission fluid that I just pulled out into this olive oil container, this empty one, because I want to look at it and see what it looks like. Now, if you look here, I don't know if you can see it, it's got just a little bit of hint of pink. I was thinking about doing one more drain and fill, but I might also wait until I tear the first time. I don't want to diddle with it too much, but let's see what it looks like. Oh, and just FYI, this transfer pump here would be really great to sample transmission fluid and engine oil if you want to send it out to Blackstone Labs. Okay, so that fluid is darker than I would like to see. It's not very clear at all. I may go down and get 4 more quarts of that stuff and do another drain and fill, because I do not like the way that looks. It doesn't look so bad when you pour it, but that fluid looks pretty dark to me. Okay folks, so here's the oil in the tube. It's still in there. It hasn't mixed with olive oil or anything. It's not totally opaque, or it's only very slightly opaque. You can see through it. You can see light through it. It's kind of got a brownish tint with a slight pinkish. Again, I still may do another drain and fill. I'll have to think about this. This is not as bad as you might think, but I still may do it again.